Okay, good evening. All right, I hope that we're streaming this time and I hope that we got it right. And if you are hearing me, please let me know that you're hearing me. We we've been having one or two technical difficulties this evening, but I'm hoping that we are on now. All right, so while we are waiting for others to join the live and to come on board, let me just tell you that we are going to be doing the program this evening. How to find your spouse, how to find your spouse. All right, so once you're on, just let me know that you're on so that we could be able to start, and that we have you on the live. Let's make sure that we have everybody on. Everybody on. Okay, I think we have everybody on. Let me apologize. I really apologize. I know that we have had a technical man, Sydney, working feverishly in the background there to make sure that we go live. But you know how things run. Things do happen, technology and so on, but we're going to make up with it. We're going to make up with it by having a wonderful program to tell you how to be able to find your spouse. In the meanwhile, I wanted to share the live. Every single person should listen to this, and everybody who is in a relationship should listen to it. They're going to have some aha moments. Yes, so share the live, people. Make sure that you're able to tell somebody that we are on. Thank you so much for those of you who have been patiently waiting for the start of the program. Some of you have been messaging me, etc. So we're just going to wait for people to come on board, those on the label, and we need to probably have the label people just follow us on this one here, because people would be on the label program and they would also be on our program that we have on this one. Okay, so this is Mike at Night, and we are on Thursdays from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock every Thursday. So we look out for you. All right, so let's make sure that we have those people who are with us on the live. Let's make sure that we have them joining us before we go ahead. I don't want to go ahead and start again before we do it. All right. So I think we'll be getting some people to come across with us at this time. Okay. So let's go ahead. Remember, we said that there are ways that we can be able to find our spouse, and we have found that there are many times people looking for a spouse, they probably go about it the wrong way. They do the wrong things in order to be able to get it. And what we want to do is to help you today to be able to find a way to be able to find the spouse that you want. How many times have you tried and you never succeeded to be able to do so? For one reason or the other, you have not been able to find that spouse that you want. Well, today we're going to help you with that, right? And while I'm doing that, I'm just trying to get on to the labor people so that they will join us on this one here. Yeah. So, a psychologist wrote an article, very interesting article, and this article is entitled "The Sofa Theory." This is Dr. Eleanor Greenberg, has this thing she calls the sofa theory. The sofa theory is how do you locate something that you want to acquire. And I will explain it as we go along. In order to be able to do this, she surmised that when we're going to look for something, there's a certain way that we go about looking for this thing. And if we don't do it in that way, when we're looking for a spouse, probably this is why so many people are single. This is what she says. So we're going to examine what she's saying, and let's see whether we're going to find a way that is going to work for us. Okay, so let me just respond to the director who's just trying to get me here. Yeah. Okay. So She gave a scenario of a client that he had, a 26-year-old woman, very good looking, and saying that she is not able to get herself a gentleman. So the psychiatrist asked her, tell me what you have been doing in order to get this person. And she gave this scenario. She said she'll go to this bar or wherever it is. And in going to the bar, she would be there hoping that somebody approaches her. And then the psychiatrist asked, okay, then what happened? And he said, well, a gentleman approached me. And she asked the client, then what did you do? And the person said, well, all I did, I pretended I wasn't interested. And they asked, why did you do that? They said, well, to avoid rejection. 1, and 2, so that I don't look desperate. Those are the 2 things why people behave the way they behave in a scenario. 1, they don't want to be rejected. People hate rejection. They hate to make an approach, especially if it is in a love relationship, and then get turned down. But rejection happens to be part of the things that we do in life. We cannot get away from it. It is part of life. But also, the embarrassment of having to be rejected is also, or it almost buries you. So this psychiatrist, Dr. Eleanor Greenberg, came up with what we call the sofa theory. So the sofa theory is this. The sofa theory says this, that if you are going to look for a sofa, consider what are the things you're going to do. And when I thought of her sofa theory, and I thought of how it is done, I think I understand clearer why people tend not to get into a relationship. I'll give you a scenario. I saw 2 young people in their teens. We were in a group, and every time this young man says something, there's this young girl that shouts at him and says to her, what is it you're saying? You're talking stupidness. She would almost insult him. And in insulting him, he himself feels, I guess he feels ashamed. But he comes back again and says something else. And then when she comes back and says something else, she retorts. And again, hurl insults at him. And this goes back and forth, back and forth. Now you ask yourself, what is going on here? So some of the other people said, Mr. Short, why is she behaving so mean towards him? And I said to the others, she likes him. She likes him. This is her display. It's the dance. It's what animals do out in the wild. It's what nature does. It's the dance before the surrender takes place. And he is the way he gets attention from her. So he says the things that causes her to now say what she's saying. So it's almost an insult and a rebuff that taken back and forth, back and forth. You all know about that. You all know, we call it in our days puppy love. You could tell when you see somebody only taking, only trying hard to be able to insult somebody and so on. Many times because it's puppy love. I know of during the days when we went to go to school. There's this girl, she'll stone the fella. Every time he comes around, she'll pelt him, insult him and so on. And you tell yourself, she like that boy. And he keeps putting himself in the position to be stoned. And that went forth and back and forth and so on. And she would insist, I don't like the guy. I can't stand the very bones in him. Some of you are supposed to know what I'm talking about. Both of them eventually got married and have children. Puppy love. That's what we do as human beings. That's what we do. We play that role over and over again. So we have to tell ourselves, is this the role that we want to play? You know you've been through it. you've been in that situation before. You've been down that road, where you play hard to get, is what our parents used to call it. Playing hard to get. Good evening to you all. Thank you all for joining us. Again, those who joined us late, I am sorry. Technical difficulties, but we had Sidney Jones trying his best to get it together. All right. Kamaria, what do you think I showing off on? Oh no, she wasn't talking to me. She was talking to somebody else. Sharian, good evening. Heather, good evening to you. Avril, good evening. Yep. Thank you for joining us. Even though we were late, we might go a bit later tonight to make up for the late start. So we're talking about how do you find your spouse, because we have an inordinate number of young people and older people not finding relationships or not able to settle down in stable relationships. There's something we're doing different than our parents used to do that worked. I'm telling you. Let me take a drink for that. Our parents used to tell our girls, play hard to get. But it wasn't rebuffed, because the psychologist in this article, she said that the person not only ignored the gentleman when he came to her, but she played when he tried to have a conversation as though, well, I'm not really fussing about you, I really can't take you on. I just come here to be by myself. Because she did not want to appear, she said, desperate. And a lot of people don't want to appear desperate. A lot of girls, a lot of ladies don't want to appear desperate. A lot of guys don't want to appear desperate. But them desperate too. But they don't want to say it. You want to get into a relationship, but you don't want to be as though, well, you couldn't wait for somebody to come into your life. So that's the scenario that has been painted by Dr. Eleanor Greenberg. So let's see if we could find out. She said rejection, worrying about being judged happens to be one of the reasons that we say. Concerns that they will appear needy and desperate. The emotional interpretation, if the relationship or the encounter doesn't work out, and whether you'll have to go searching again. So that's what it is. I read an article today while preparing for this. A lady called a gathering of 63 men, went to the dating app, selected 63 men that appeared compatible in the dating app, and invited them to a session where they will eat and drink in this restaurant or whatever it is and so on. I don't know if all of them knew that it was one woman who all of them would have been invited, but she said she was tired of just trying to find somebody and not finding anybody. So she just selected all 63 of them. And they came. But in trying to select them, before they actually came, she had already met one that she felt she would have really liked. But it worked out quite well. She now has it as an event that is going from state to state in order to meet all these people. But I digress. But that's the state that we have come to, when you have to now go on a dating app and invite 63 people to be able to select from. And people come there and trying to select out of that. What is wrong? What is going wrong? Why is it we are not getting it? So I want to go to the sofa theory. The sofa theory, when you're going to buy a sofa, point number one, here's what Dr. Greenberg said. When you go to buy a sofa, nobody walks into a furniture store to buy a sofa and pretend that they're not desperate. I said, wow. Yeah, because you're going to buy a sofa. What's so desperate about that? You need a sofa. What about other people judging you? And, well, she had no sofa in she house. Now, who cares about that? He had no sofa. That's not their business. You are going to buy a sofa. Why is it we are so preoccupied with people? Preoccupied with our own selves. How are we going to come across to people? And I think that is what is really driving us to do what we do. So you have people pretending, I don't want no man, I don't want no woman, I good. And they're not good. I'm telling you. I see it all the time. I run programs and workshop over workshop. Inside of one of these workshops, a young lady says to me, Mr. Stewart, I good. Man is worries. I don't want no man. I have everything I need, and so I just here to follow. Right. So I do force people to get into relationship. You don't want a relationship, you don't want a relationship, that's fine. But I know a lot of people pretending, and they pretend not to be pretending while they continue to pretend. That's a lot of people. A lot of guys out there say, I just want to flirt. But deep down, when you really talk to them, they want to settle down, but don't know how to settle down. They don't know how to be able to keep a woman. Because many people who call off a relationship is not demanding them. The statistic says when it comes even to marriages, the women are the ones who initiate divorce. But the man pretending as though, well, I didn't really want nothing thing, so if she leave me, she leave me, but you didn't want her to leave. Why do you think so many men committing suicide as soon as the woman eventually leaves? You can't take it. He's pretending that he's not pretending while he continues to pretend. We are such a fake set of people. So we see somebody we like the person. I could understand a little hard to get on all of that our parents used to teach us, especially for the ladies. But oh gosh, you're behaving as though you just don't care, you don't want the person, at all. So this lady told me that. Some weeks later, she made an appointment and came to see me. As you know, some people may know that I do private and personal counseling and relationship counseling and so on. And it was the same girl. I said, how may I help you? He said, well, you're talking in the program about relationships and so on. Say, but I'd be lonely. You see, when I go home on an evening, especially on a Friday, and I have nobody to talk to, I have nowhere to go with somebody, nobody to enjoy a scene with one, or a function, or event, a concert with, I'd be depressed. I said, but you told me that you're good, you can't take on no worries from no man. And this is what she said, which I found was very striking. She says, for two reasons. One is, she again did not want to appear desperate in front of the group. And then she said this other thing, that even when a woman says something that shows that she needs a man, her women folk will come down on that woman. So she has to play the role. But she says, that's not my role, but I can't play the role in public. Pretending not to pretend while they pretend. All right. So you go in a sofa, a store, a furniture store, and you're going to buy a sofa, and you telling yourself, I just here walking around. I don't want no sofa. I want to leave here without a sofa. I come all the way here not to buy a sofa. I come here and I reach here because I achieved my objective, not to buy a sofa. Bye. See you. I'm gone. We must be a set of messed up people to live a life like that. And this is not my saying. This is Dr. Eleanor Greenberg, who does, she also deals with personality disorders and so on. Hey, notice that, eh? This must be mad people business. We do that. A guy will know a girl eyeing him, I've heard the guys talk about that. Trots his stuff so that she would see, but does not want to engage her in anything because one, the macho-ness. And what if she really does not like me, but she just admires me, but she does not want me, she has another man already? What if her man is inside the function? But he wants to meet her, but he doesn't. So he talks loud, give jokes, walk around the place, and do all of that. And when he leaves, nothing happens. So Dr. Greenberg said, when he asked the lady, did this method work for you? She said no, because when she went home, she was distressed that the man did not pursue to continue, even though she was pretending that she did not want to talk to him, that she was not interested in him. She felt he should have pursued. Right, well, let me tell you what is happening here now. Because of this thing, when our parents taught us to be hard to get, but today's society says to a woman, call that a different name. Here's what you must call that: sexual harassment. A lot of men are not pursuing nothing. They will like you, and they may very well not approach you. I'm doing a survey, and some of you men and women, because a lot of women taking advice from women when it comes to this relationship thing, and they get in themselves all messed up with the wrong advice. So I'm doing a survey to show and to find out from men, why is it they don't go into relationships? And one of them is the fear of being accused. So the woman say, well, if I say no is no, and that is true. But in relationship, there must be that hunt, pursue, evasion. You look at your yard fowls, they do it. No hen ever accused the cock of sexual harassment. Anyway, let me do with it. Moving along. But you get my point. It is part of how we play this thing. So when a man knows that, okay, then as soon as he asks a woman up, or as soon as he proposes to a woman or propositions a woman, she's going to accuse him of sexual harassment. A lot of men say, I ain't going there at all. So some of them waiting until the woman approaches them, and then they're going to now make a move once the woman approaches, while the women, some of them, waiting on it. I must bring a video to show you where there are some girls at a bar went live and say in the group here, you know, something is wrong. We are getting fed up of coming out here hoping that a guy just comes up to us and say hello, and guys are not doing it. And they said they feel that this whole thing of where the attack has been is beginning to erode the relationship building process of having to accuse somebody of sexual harassment because they said hello. Sometimes you watch somebody, and I'm not picking on the ladies, but I'm just being frank with you also. I know that some people may agree with me, some may not agree with me. I just go in with what Dr. Eleanor says, and which I subscribe to. So there are times that you say hello to somebody. You don't know the person, but your parents teach you to say hello. And sometimes they will just watch at you, and they realize, I don't know him. So they don't read back, they don't say hello at all. And they go away. Yeah? Good evening, Deborah. Nice having you. Nikisha, Kiran, all of you all, nice having you all. Heather, yes, Heather, it's the sad truth. Edward Jones, nice. Good. Share the live. Oh, come on. We're letting them know it. So it's beginning to destroy relationships. And guys want to get into relationship, but they don't want to put themselves out there to let the girl know, I like you. That the sofa theory says you will never walk in a supermarket, as a sofa store, a furniture store, and pretend you don't want to buy a sofa. Charmy says some men seem not interested, but they unbutton their shirt 2 buttons down and strut. That's right. The best thing on the Rooster Kingdom. Of course, you could see that. Why do you think they shine up the cars like that? Why do you think they buy all those clothes? Why is it you think they wear dark shades to come into those functions so that they could scope you out without you watching them scoping you out? It's a lot of pretense, but they want to catch your attention. They do the bravado thing. You understand? Good evening, Camille, Jack. So we do all of that. She said you don't do that for sofa. You go into a sofa store, you are confident because you're looking for sofa. When you go to a function and you're looking for somebody, you don't have to go up in the people face because you're not going to sit down on every sofa inside of the place and so on. You are scoping out sofa. You're walking. Nobody, you're not bouncing over nobody to get it. You're not rushing nobody to get it. And you're just checking out the sofa. You can do that. What's wrong with that, my people? Yeah? No. Some of the sofa sold, and you see the sold sign. Do not do like me. See the sold sign when I went inside a time to buy a sofa. And try to get the person, because it was the only last sofa like that, and that one I liked. That other sofa there, but this one was sold. Consider that is like if you're in a relationship, you meet somebody who's already married, you're already in a relationship, they sold. So I trying to convince the salesperson now. The person pay off for it yet? And they say no. So in my head, then you will want this because you pay off for it. Same thing in relationships. The person married, and you're telling yourself, I hope that them and their partner not going good. He ain't paying up, she ain't paying up. So if it ain't going good, then I could get it. They say no, because they already made commitment, they paid down on it and so on, and it's sold. And then I start to negotiate until I said, well, if they ain't come back by 4 o'clock when all are ready to close, I could pay mine and get it. They say, well, that's not how it works. Same thing with doing relationships. Well, if you and the woman not really talking, or they don't get along, if you and the man ain't getting along, you trying to intervene and putting yourself inside of it because everything not going right inside it. Same thing with sofa. This sofa theory makes a lot of sense now in my head. I hope it does to you too. Yeah? I hope it does. Camille, I'm not too sure what you're referring to. When you said you agree. Because remember now, what I'm saying here live, you are writing it after it has passed. Langdon Phillips. Some just want to sit on the sofa. Landon, you just sit down and you just study to come up with these statements or what? Some of them just want to sit down for the... Yes, and that is true. You go inside of there and you go and sit down on the people, them new brand sofa for a while. That really happens. And that is what some people do. Somebody is not available to you, You're not walking out with the sofa, but you want to sit on it for a while. How many times you go to a function, you go to carnival, and you want to hit on something for a while? You never plan to take it home. You never plan to keep it. You just want to hit on it for a while. Well, that is why relationship is not going to be stable. Yeah? So I hope you're all learning something here today. This sofa theory caught my attention. I understood the concept before, and I think I appreciate the concept. But having it seen in the concept of a sofa, it makes sense. So, Dr. Greenberg said, the same way, or you're not going to be studying about rejection, is either the furniture is for sale or it's not for sale. And if they tell you it is not for sale, do you feel rejected? Do you feel sad? Do you go home and cry over that? No, it was not for sale. So that is all. Is either yes or no is the answer you're going to get. Want to talk to me? Miss Carrot, thank you. Yeah, man, all give me all the feedback. Let me know if you're with me on this thing. If you're not with me, say so too. Don't be ashamed. Yes. You don't want to buy it, just want to be comfortable for a while. That's what people want for the sofa. Go inside of there, pass the hand on it, stroke it. Well, yeah, even what you see how it's so graphic now? You can't say anything without even realizing the gravity of a sofa and buying a sofa. You want to be comfortable, sit down on it, admire it, and so on. Can you afford it? Yes. Jacques, you hit a point in. Jacques says, Jacques is my son in the States. Let me say hello to him. We're glad to have him on. Jacques said, not every sofa match the aesthetics in your house. Would you believe that is one of the other things that Dr. Greenberg said? That if you're going to buy a sofa, you must know whether the sofa could fit in your house. Can it? You have a 5-piece sofa and you in a one-room thing where your kitchen, living room, and bedroom is all in one. You want a 5-piece sofa because it look nice. Can it fit? That's what we call compatibility. Is it compatible? And the answer in many cases is no. Yeah? And let me talk about compatibility. You know, the Bible talks about don't be unequally yoked. Talk about compatibility. Because this is what she didn't call it unequally yoked, but she also spoke about that. Oh heavens. She says, if you are religious, this is what the doctor is saying. If you are religious, what are you doing with a non-religious person? Is it compatible? Could it fit in your house? Well, some may say yes. Okay, but if it could fit in your house, try it. Yes, sir? Look at how much people have buy things and having to give away some of the pieces because it can't fit. Yeah? They press down the cushion, they squeeze it knowing they really don't want it. Whosoever is calling me now, I really can't take. Sorry. The person who's calling is probably calling in for the program. And I got rid of it. Okay. Let me give you the telephone number. 868-688-5363. If you want to call in and be part of the program. 868-688-5363. So that caller, if you're calling for the program, please call again. Yep. Right. That is 868-688-5363. Right. So, can the sofa fit in you? Can you afford the sofa, she says? It might be a nice sofa, you know. You like the sofa. It's the right size. But can you afford that price of sofa? Is it compatible? Can you handle that? Yes, sir? So you're asking yourself, and I know it works sometimes. There were some people completely outside, and she was saying, should a very good looking person, you see a very, very good looking person, and you are not that comely. We've been real here, people. We've been real. You are not that comely, and you are looking to court this gorgeous, Gorgeous place. You know, there's a calypso that says, never date somebody better looking than you. Yeah, if you want to live a happy life, you make sure that you date somebody uglier than you. Now, don't get offended. The concept is what it's saying. In your bracket. When you're going to run a race in the Olympics with people in your bracket. If you're now starting off to learn athletics and so on, and you know Usain Bolt is going to be competing, do not sign up for his race. You're like running, yes, I know that. You think you're fit, yes, but can you match him in that race? The answer is no, you're unequally yoked. Yes, Anela, thank you very much. The sofa might be too high maintenance. That's right. You see some of these girls, they are okay because they are working for their money. They can finance themselves. You see that the hairstyle keeps changing weekly. Poor you can only take a haircut in the barber once every 2 months because you can't afford it. Why are you going after her? Yeah, find your bracket. And nothing is wrong if she have all this hairstyle and all of that, you know. That is not what the point is. Because if she can afford it, she can afford it. But can you afford it? And you might say, well, she might say she could afford it. So she okay. But yes, but once you get into a relationship with her, she will not think that she needs to pay all of those bills and do all of it when she is in a relationship with a man. She would expect the man to take up some responsibility. And if you know you cannot take it up, left goat with the half rope alone. That's what my mother used to say. It's just not yours. You go inside there, not just because the sofa nice, but you cannot afford it. So don't even, for the time you see the store, and you know everything in that store is expensive and it is outside of your range, find the store that you could afford. Shana say in Jamaica, we say stay in your lane. That's right. So we have Jamaica in the house. Stay in your lane. They say force it through the door and eventually realize that you don't have enough room to move around. Bouncing your foot all over the place. You see? And somebody posts on Facebook, God put your little toe there to make sure the furniture is where it's supposed to be. So when you bounce your toe, you say, yes, it's right there. Deborah says sometimes it looks so nice in the store, and when it reach home, you don't like it. How many of us have started relationship with people, and it really look as though this would have been a good relationship, and when you get to know the person, no, you didn't examine the furniture properly, man. It started to break apart. You understand? We bought some nice cupboards and so on. Cupboard start off nice, and then you see flakes coming from the cupboard, but it wasn't showing that in the store. But we find it out after, but we didn't sit down and do the examination of it, and we get catch. Some of you all keep getting catch, and then you keep blaming the store. No, you did not examine it. It says in law, buyer beware. It is the buyer to beware. All right. So she says that so many comments now. I losing my way now. You don't have room for it, right? Right. So after you buy it, you don't like it anymore, so it just becomes another piece of furniture, and it won't bring in no joy that it brought to the store. Yeah. Kamaria Kinzumas Jack says, sometimes you think you know what you want, but on finding it, you have buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse is when you Buy something. You had that color shoe already, but you like shoes. You have the same make almost, and you still buy. And then you come home and tell yourself, I don't know what I spend this money for. That's buyer's remorse. You make an impulsive decision. And that's what Kamara is saying. It is important to know yourself and know what you want. So when you go there to buy the sofa, know the size of your room. Yes. You know, you have some sofa not shaped straight, shaped with triangle and so on. You have a square house. Square, plumb square. You buy a triangular thing that leave you with a set of room in the back of the thing. You didn't sit down and study thing. Anyway, people, all you know what we're talking about, the sofa theory. I am beginning to think that I do not even deserve to enter this stage. Sometimes it looks so nice. All right, modeling. Or Manuelin, I think it is. Paid. Good evening. And then you wonder if it wasn't good at all, or it is that it malfunctioned or deteriorated. And you start to blame everybody else. All sorts of things you blame. So it might be nice, Carrot says, but not for you. Veronica said, do you do your examination and then make your move? The sofa theory. The sofa theory, for those of you who just joined us, that's what we're talking about. The reason why, if you want to find somebody, number one, know where selling sofa and go there. That's one of the point. So don't go to a car shop. Go to a furniture store to buy. What are you doing, according to Dr. Greenberg, in a bar, in carnival? You are a religious person, are you looking for a spouse? And you go there and you take the person from out there and forcing them to become part of your belief system, and they don't, and you vex with them. That don't make sense. People don't buy sofa like that. You go where sofa is. So therefore, if you're into whatever aspect, if you want a certain type of person, you like people who always outgoing and liming and so on, then you go to all those fetes. That's where you're going to be. So people are looking for relationships, and it's home, work, church. Home, work, church. And Dr. Greenberg says, very rare you'll just accidentally bounce up somebody. Just so. You have to go where they're selling sofa. Start going those functions. You see it advertised for a concert, go to the concert. Oh heavens, come out from home now. God is not fast food. He does not do home delivery. You've got to go out and meet the people. Stop resembling house. So if you want to find a spouse, move around. Furniture don't come home by you to ask you if you want them to buy them. You just have to go and look for sofa. And you walk around the store and examine the sofa and tell yourself, okay, this is a nice place. Options for sofa. Look at where your options are. Do not go to a store that only have one furniture. Look at your options. Yeah, some of you are giving me some serious advice on Facebook, boy. Some stores sell defective furniture. Yeah, Edward Jones, trust you to come up with that. So ensure you go to a supplier of good quality material. Let me go on that one. Nice one, Edward. It is a reality that not every sofa store, every furniture store sells quality material. Stop watching furniture store, pass them straight and say, I am not buying no more furniture the rest of my life because it have too much furniture store selling bad furniture. No. If you don't find it in this one here, because this one here they sell substandard furniture. That is not a grounds. You understand why this this sofa theory makes so much sense. There is no one who wants to buy a car because people thieving them out of their money with a car. Stop buy car. You're just going to be more careful in your selection. So all of those people who say, nah, them man and them are serious, I don't want no more man. Nah, them woman and them, I don't want no more woman. That is why we're not going to be in relationships. Because we're not doing it as we supposed to do it, but as how we do it in every other rational thing. A good working old thing is better than a young thing. Yes, London. No one wants that furniture in their life. You can change the design to suit you and make you happy. At times, the best option may be to reupholster or recondition in any manner necessary. You know what you're dealing with. All right, Phillips. All right, Phillips. That is a nice one. That is a nice one. You see, I tell you, giving some good advice there. You know. You'd have people with good furniture home, good sofa, strong sofa, made out of teak, mahogany, made out of good stuff, well upholstered. It's just a little dirty, worn from years. But they want new thing because it's Christmas. They want the house to smell nice and give up a good sofa theory, to change it for a new one that weaker than the old one you had. You with your spouse for years. You see a young thing. Brand new off the manufacturing belt. And you leave your good long-term relationship. A bit worn. Yeah. Just need some upholstering, as Landon said. Some cleaning up. And you go in to get the young thing. Make no sense. I have a vehicle 16 years old. The reason why I haven't sold it is because it is faithful. Every time it punctures home by me. Not down the road. It has served me well. I gotta keep what I have. So some people just like the recycle business. If you do like the fat ones, buy the slim ones or vice versa. That's why she heard a story that a wife told her the side chick things. She heard a story where the wife told the side chick thanks for taking this burden off of her hands. Good luck. There's a song that came out there, a very impressive song. Yeah, I hope that, well, I can't share the song with you all tonight. Facebook would stop it. Brand new second hand, Joel says. Yep. They throw out this boom that know out of all the corners. And that's why so many people just cycle relationships, just go around in cycles. This must be a personal defect. Because why do you recycle your furniture? You buy a furniture and in 3 months you throw out that furniture. Would you do that? Never. And if you do that, nobody should be bothering with you. But people do that with relationships. That's why she said consider it a sofa theory. You could always clean and shine, make it new. Never go in a relationship, Carrot says, hoping to change the person. You are setting yourself up for trouble. Boom. When they throw the old furniture, someone comes along and pick it up. have a partner, a brother I know. He goes up to the dump, and all of those fans that you see people throw away that not working, he has somebody who he knows that bring them back. He say he have fan now working all over here. He has no air condition because he has so many fans that people threw away thinking they wasn't good. Some people change some relationships and don't recognize what you walked out on, somebody else gladly pick up. Because you never valued what you had. You thought because it's not working the way you want it, that you should get rid of it. Wow. I'm talking to somebody out there who, yep. That's right, Charmin. Exactly. All right. So, people, share the live, share the live. We're going a bit late today because of the fact that we had some technical difficulties in starting. I want to thank Sydney for having worked hard to make sure that we still get on tonight. All right, so we're talking about the sofa theory. How to find your spouse. Go where they're selling furniture. That's one. Second thing you must do is that when you go to buy the furniture, stop having these personal hang-ups with the furniture. Okay, I see people messaging me saying that they're not getting on for some reason. I will have to share the recording probably after. So they have the hang-ups. They want to the person, they like the person who probably approach them and so on, but pretending they don't like the person, pretending they don't want. You don't do that to a furniture. You don't go in there and watch a sofa and pretend you don't like the sofa. You like it, you like it. What is the issue? So two, go inside of there and make yourself available. Number 3, choose a furniture you can afford. Yeah. I saw a guy, and I'm not saying that this doesn't work, because I know of another couple that it works with. But he cuts the grass in the hospital. A hospital. So I don't want anybody to think I'm talking about no particular hospital. A hospital. But he has this nurse that he sees, and he only harassing the nurse. And sometimes you want to tell the guy, bat in your crease. Stay in your lane. Can you afford that furniture? When you look at a nurse, standard of where her thoughts, processing, thinking would be, and I'm not insulting anybody who wants to aspire to high thing. I'm just saying these are just best practice. Because I know of a gentleman who's a landscaper who's married to a doctor. Yeah, it does happen. So this guy, he is courted and trying to catch nurse that passing, doctor that passing, all kind of thing. Why are you doing that? You really think you plan to get through them? Can you afford that furniture? Can you maintain that furniture? Because it's more than just liking the person. It's more than because, and the guy is he built like a bullet. The man is built like the pillar of a tree. Well, strong fella. So he's a handsome fella. But you can't depend on your handsomeness to run a relationship. Sorry. Talk to all of those handsome guys outside of there and realize that they may start the relationship, but they don't maintain it. They can't keep it. Because your stud not going to keep you. It can't sustain it. It's got to be who you are. Your compatibility and your ability to connect. And that's what the doctor said. Dr. Greenberg said. He better buy high quality furniture. Yes. But you have to bring yourself to the point to be able to afford it. Yeah. So, Kenneth Odd said it looked like this furniture will have to remain unused. No, Kenneth, don't worry. But you've got to move around. Right. So Dr. Greenberg called that play to your strengths. which means choose a furniture that is within your pocket range, that can fit in your house. It's not too many parts in the furniture. It's just right. Just do that. Play to your strengths, and you'll always be able to find that person. Right? So let me give you another one that she says. If you didn't find the furniture in that store, Dr. Greenberg says, there are other stores. Stop your slackness and say you didn't find none in your church, in your congregation, in your island, in your school, in your university. There are other universities, there are other places that you could go. Stop that. That's why you'll stay single. If you really want a spouse and you really want a furniture, who goes to one furniture store and says, well, all right, they have none here, and you stop look? Yeah? Move around. And don't stop till you find a store that has your furniture. Some of us give up too early. That's why we can't find a spouse. We just throw our hands up in the air. You see? I know of so many men, so many young men, well-intentioned, but they don't think that they should go looking. And so many young women who figure that I ain't seen none where I am, and so give up. No. So Jagui said, if you're still building your house, should you sit on the floor for the while or look for a sofa for the new house? If you're still building your house, all right, should you sit on the floor for the while or look for a sofa for the new house? For the new house, right? So sometimes you have to do without the sofa, and nothing is wrong with that. There are some people not in a relationship because they think they're not ready. Then don't go paying down for no sofa. You see, what has happened is that people not ready yet because they can't afford the sofa, and they still go and pay down for the sofa, and they cannot finish paying, and they repossess the sofa. You're not getting into a relationship, you're not marrying the person, you're having sex with them. You're doing everything as though you're in a full-fledged relationship. Sometimes you just meet the person. Full-fledged relationship, everything going down. You're spending money on them, you're paying the bills for them, you're sleeping over by them and so on. You're only paying down payment and you never purchase it. But you could afford to be looking for the furniture, Jacques. To Jacques' question. A person can afford to be looking for the furniture before they're ready to afford it, because they would know what price of furniture there is out there. And we're trying to find out the price of the furniture and how it's going to fit and so on, different quality furniture and so. By the time you're ready, it's almost time for your house to be finished, and you just buy it and go inside. Yes. Let us say preach. Well, I should pass the collection header. You may buy a sofa, Carrot says, looking beautiful and it's contaminated with mites. All right. All right, Timothy, thanks for coming. Charmin said, some buy MDF furniture. I figure this is the where you compact the wood. I think that is what she's saying. And when it falls apart, they complain about it wasn't good in the first place. It was good at the time you bought it, but it could not deal with what you are dealing with. Yeah, so you're right, Charmin. Oh, Timothy. Sorry. Timothy, I thought when he said good night, everyone, I thought you were leaving. You see, when somebody says good night, it's usually because they are leaving. And good evening is when they just arrived. So I think he meant he just arrived. All right, Prakash. Prakash now joining into. All right, you all are joining late, man. Try to build something that your character will not mentioned. I'm not sure I understand that. Lyndon said he could repair furniture, man. And Lyndon is a good carpenter. One of the best I've seen. All right. All right, people. So, as we wrap up, did this enlighten you at all? This session. It certainly opened up so many doors for me when I read it. So I want you to just respond there, whether it enlightened you and what is it that struck you with this whole sofa theory. If you want, share that with me. This article for you is swiftly becoming an antique. Yes, that's right. One of the things that's going to come up, I'm reading this article where they are talking about a lot of guys they do not want to get into stable relationship. Besides people not getting to be in relationships, they have found out, there's this psychologist who did a research to see a lot of men do not want it. And so we're going to be coming with that. Prakash, you now join. You're asking what is the topic. The topic is screening at the top. How to find your spouse. Charmaine says she loved the sofa theory. All right, nice. Too many players, Sharon Andrew says. Okay. All right, so we're going to bring that because I'm thinking it's going to help a lot of our women to understand that sometimes the man comes around to play because he doesn't plan to stay. He comes to play. And we're going to find out why is it he wants to play and not stay. Some of the information may be surprising to you. It may help change out some things that we operate in society. Yeah. We do have women also. More and more women prefer to stay without a man because it is also too much drama to have a man. So you have it on both sides, but there is an alarming number of men, they said, while we have a larger number of women. So there is a shortage of men already, and there's a shortage of good men already. So the swimming pool is kind of shallow. The stream is low to fish in. And yet, while it is low, a lot of men don't want to be caught in no net. Very interesting thing. There's also another gentleman that I want to come on, a guy who I have very high regard to. I invited him to be on our program. Someone who taught me and so I want him to come on to share some stuff, and hopefully we can be able to get him on. Okay, Carrot. Yes, thank you very much. Sharon says too much drama. Yes, I can understand that. And what's going on these days with men who have a problem in a woman leaving him and starting to beat women and kill women and so on, that is unacceptable. And you could understand why some women are very apprehensive. Lenora said the sofa analogy was effective. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. Parker says, similar to buying a new or foreign used car, we all know what we're looking for and what we want, even the qualities and accessories we would love to have. So that's in my opinion, but we always don't get what we see. Yeah. Parker said, a fear of rejection in relationships is it. There are 400 million more women the world over than men. Yeah, there's a large number. You just listen to end of year for Christmas when they're giving out hampers for the first baby born for the year and the first baby for Christmas. Many times it's a girl. Yeah. So the men really have plenty to choose from and they don't want to settle along with one. It's like going into a store and you want to buy pants and there are so many options for pants. You walk out and say, nah, it's confusing me. All right. So that brings us down to the end. Hopefully, we'll be back now on Thursday. And I want you to stand by. I want you to call somebody. I really appreciated all of you all for coming on this session tonight. And I hope that you all learned something and got some absolute wow moment where you got an eye opener and help us now to start looking at things in relationships from the standpoint of the analogy of the sofa theory by Dr. Eleanor Greenberg, not mine. Thank you all very much. God bless you. You all have a wonderful evening. Again, we apologize for the late start because of the technical difficulty, and I want to thank Sidney Jones because although we started late, he did his best for us to be able to have this program here tonight, and I'm glad because we had quite a number of people still who are on. God bless you all. Have a good day. Hey, if you are having difficulty in your marriage or in your relationship and you need someone to speak with privately and confidentially, then call me, Michael Stewart. We can do face-to-face or virtually any part of the world. If your relationship is worth saving, call 868-688-5363 or go to my website www.michaeletstewart.com. Don't wait until it's too late. Get counseling.